Yeah. What you saying? Big up, big up, big up. Base boxing basement right here in the house. Triple B. Yo, please give a like to keep the sick haters away. Talking to haters, yeah. This is bum. I get a few bums, right? I get very few haters. Because most of them obviously realize they're gonna get rinsed anyway. But this guy called Colts TV in it, and he sent me a thing on Instagram. I was like, "What's this, man? This message request." Yeah, you was a loser. You was irrelevant, blood. You was so stupid. You was funny, in it. Just going the same stupid, ignorant kind of. I don't know what you even want to call it, but that kind of roadman nonsense talk. Yeah, and anyway, it turns out this bum is a friend of Ben Shittiker and the other bum Castillo. So he's trying to get his head. You know, he's trying to what's it called? Suck up to them. Yeah, to lick their batties so that he can get some of that reflected glory. But I don't know. This bum's got about 3 videos. I don't know what his channel. He's whack. He tries to be a rapper. And this is all he can say. He goes, yes, I'm in a new city and it's litty. I want to get a girl who ain't shitty or something like that. He's so whack. He's some bum. And he's another guy who's decided to buck up against Sugar B. I'll have a further look into him. If he's worth humiliating, I will. But anyway, we're not talking about this bum, peanut head. What you do is put N, right? If you get certain people, what we do is put N. I put N. I didn't put N word, I just N. And he's and a picture of a silverback, and you start crying. Anyway, imagine being that sensitive. If you're real sensitive, there's no point bucking up against someone because you're going to get rinsed, especially when you're ugly, like this guy. The guy looks like only a little bit less ugly than Ben Shitgood dad. Anyway, we're here to talk about Josh Taylor of his Jack Catterall too. And that's a good fight. You know, you got to be honest with you. That's a good fight, and the rematch is happening. The rematch is happening. Now, you know, it's first of all, it's on the 27th of April in Leeds. So I'm not, I thought Catterall was from Manchester. He is from Manchester, surely, right? Or thereabouts, right? Why are they showing it in Leeds? I mean, obviously, what's his face? Josh Taylor is from Glasgow, and, you know, he's obviously been one of the best Scottish fighters there is. But, you know, I don't know. They could have a venue. I suppose maybe they want a venue halfway or something. But I mean, I don't know, man. It just seems weird to have it in Leeds when you got one guy. Oh, sorry, Catterall's from Chorley in Lancashire. Is that near Manchester? I think so. So he's from Chorley or whatever. But I mean, he boxed in Manchester before. I've seen him box live. He boxed against Darragh Foley. And I thought Foley had a chance, actually. But I think partially because I was with some Irish fans. So I was a bit back in the Irishman, but you get swayed by, who you're with, but I don't think I've ever given Catterall the credit he deserves. He's a really good boxer, and I saw him live and I was like, this guy's a really good boxer. And also with the Linares, although I thought Linares kind of just was there for the payday, but I never really rated Catterall. He didn't excite me, but actually he's a very, very talented guy. People say he can't punch. Well, he can punch actually. What I mean by that is but he's very. Can you hear my dog snoring? Tyson dog snoring, right? So he's got 28 wins. The loss to Josh Taylor, which we'll get onto, right? But of 28 wins, only 13 wins have come by way of stoppage. And it's not. I mean, I'm not saying he's a Nigel Benn puncher. Say whatever, one of those Julian Jackson puncher, a Wayne Alexander puncher. But I'm saying that actually he's a lot stiffer than that. But he's one of them guys. You could say Bivol's one of them as well, right? He'll bang you with a hard shot and can really hurt you. But he's quite cautious. He won't go for the finish. He prefers to box. Right, you see Bivol against Lyndon Arthur. He should have stopped Arthur. I lost some money on that. I'm a bit disappointed against Bivol, but he put him over and he just didn't even try and stop him. Catterall's a bit similar. He put Taylor over. Yeah, and he does put people over, but he just doesn't. He seems to. Well, I mean, I guess it's a way of boxing, being a bit careful, just trying not to take risks. There's something to be said about that. I prefer someone who's actually trying to finish someone. This is the pro game, blood. We want heads to roll. We want to see people get flatlined. And whatever anyone says, no one decides to watch boxing. I'm hoping it ends on points. You get me? So yeah, it's in Leeds. Like I said, 27th of April. I've had a couple of funds hit me up going, you want to come to this? I mean, I'm definitely going to go almost certainly to the Fabio Woodley, because the Eraser Clark show, and also I'm going to troll Ben Shittica in person, so that'll be good. But yeah, so it's been announced. It's a DAZN fight. Excuse me, it's on DAZN, but it's not pay per view, thankfully. And I mean, it shouldn't be, but these days you just don't know. So that's good news. So far, there's got Jericho O'Quinn, the American guy, against Peter McGrail. The big prospect. Pete McGrail was pissed in that fight, and then he got knocked out by one shot. McGrail's chin looked suspect, but that's a very interesting rematch. And what's happened recently to me, most immediate rematches, the guy that should have won first time does win. The one exception is David Price, Thompson. But then Thompson was juicing as well, so whatever. But yeah, Catterall. So I don't remember the first fight. Catterall vs Josh Taylor. So I mean, most people thought Catterall had won, and the investigator, was it IGL, Ian John Lewis, who cried racism, even though he's one of the worst referees I've ever seen. I think he got downgraded or suspended or something. Yeah, he had Taylor winning 114-111. Howard Foster had Catterall winning by 1 point. Lachlan had Taylor winning by 1 point. I'm not going to say it was the worst robbery of all time, but to me, it was quite clearly Catterall win by about 2 rounds, about 2 clear rounds, if that makes sense. 2 solid rounds, right? Taylor got dropped in the 8th and got deducted a point. And Catterall also got deducted a point in the 10th. I mean, it was a poor referee showing, it was a poor judge showing. But in my mind, Jack Catterall should have been crowned. Okay, and also in front of Taylor's crowd in Glasgow. He should have been crowned champion. I mean, he did enough to win, clearly, in my eyes, even though numerically it may only have been of 2 rounds. And also, you got to put in the knockdowns and the points taken off a piece. It was a mess, the scorecards. So we got the rematch eventually. I think they had one lined up, didn't they? But apparently Josh Taylor was injured. He went and fight Teofimo Lopez in Madison Square, so he should get the big fights. He lost for the WBO title. It was in the end only the WBO title. I think the other ones he got stripped, right, if I remember rightly. That's a Madison Square Garden. No problem. He lost that. I thought he did okay in the early rounds, but the press, the Americans, the people, were going, oh, it's a Teofimo back to his best. He did a masterclass. No, he didn't, man. He didn't know that great. I mean, first of all, what is a Teofimo masterclass? He's only ever beaten one guy, of any value. And that's Lomachenko, which Lomachenko was injured and there was loads of problems there. I mean that's a good scalp. Lomachenko had his worst showing. Lopez had his best. Lopez got beaten then by Cambosos and Sandor, in my opinion, Sandor Martin. Yeah. And the last guy he fought, Jermaine Ortiz, he's just not that good, Lopez. But I mean, I don't think it was a bad showing in the early rounds by Taylor, to be honest. I think he was in it after 6 rounds. He just kind of, I just didn't win many rounds after that. And there's a thing with Taylor, right? Josh Taylor. I mean, obviously, he did extremely well, and he's one of the best Scottish boxers ever. I mean, having said that, that's not saying much, man. They're not very athletic people, Scottish people. I'm not saying that to diss Scottish people, but they don't seem to be very athletic people. They're not good at any sports, are they? What? We're the top Scots sportsmen. I just can't think. I just can't think. You know what I'm saying? They're always getting whopped in football and in rugby, and I mean, they're not a big nation, admittedly, but still. I mean, obviously, Ken Buchanan. You got to give a big respect to Ken Buchanan. Scott Harrison was solid. Jim Watt was pretty good, but there's no real big standouts. Well, there's Gary Cornish, obviously, and Jay McFarlane. But in all seriousness, my boy's snoring blood. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah. Sorry, I wanted him to have his say. I think he finds the fight a bit boring. But yeah, so you got so Taylor, I mean, you could say you could have had him in the pound for pound rankings, even though I think the pound for pound stuff is a bit lame. But he's undisputed champion. He didn't lose until officially until he lost to Lopez. But I think Catterall he lost, and he didn't look. He beat decent guys, but he didn't beat anyone super. He beat solid guys, right? Taylor. But for the world champs and that, but just never really win against Ivan Baranchik. Yeah, I mean he was okay, but he wasn't great. Regis Prograis, he won by majority. I thought Prograis would win that, but that's a good result. Prograis, that's special anyway. People just talked him up, and he likes suggesting that Rougarou werewolf suit. But apart from that, he knocked out some guy in a round in Bethnal Green, which is happy. I'd forgotten about it. Apinon Kong Sung from Thailand. Me love you long time. He was a puncher, but he got dealt with by Taylor. Wow, that's weird. That was in York Hall, man. That's quite a small venue for a big name world champion, in my opinion. I mean, Taylor should have had. I don't think he did himself any favors with PR wise, right? He always seemed a little bit grumpy, didn't he? Yeah. And he's not one of them guys that use social media that much until he beefed with Catterall. But and I don't know. He hasn't really done the work in getting his profile up there, or maybe he should blame his agent, or maybe he should blame his promoter. But regardless, he probably deserves for his achievements. Probably deserves to earn more money. But anyway, here he is against Catterall. I'm glad it's happening because at first it's a good fight. It's a British fight. Grudge fight. Grudge fights are great, man. You get a bit serious grudge fights. The fake beef, you can use your spot, but these guys like to have a crack at each other. They've been getting real bitter against each other and slagging each other off. I like that. And what I think will happen? Well, we had a press conference, and I don't know, Taylor looked old, blood. Like Scottish people, again, I'm not having a go at Scots. I had one Scottish guy get really angry with me on the messages because I just said sometimes it can be hard to understand the Glasgow accent. He goes, no, your accent is way harder to understand, or whatever. Understand? I was like, no, it isn't. but yeah, so Scottish people are very proud to be Scottish, and that's part of the manipulation. Because I told you about divide and conquer, so that's just another clear divide and conquer. They want Scottish people to hate English people, so that and they're never going to be together to be able to overthrow the actual system and the wrong ones. So, but regardless, Scottish people are really unnecessarily bitter against like English people, considering Scottish people have had kings, queens, they run finance and things. The Irish people, who I find the most friendly, very friendly peoples, and they've got way more reason to hate English people. I mean, it's not really English people, right? It's the English government, the wrong-uns, the Masons, the people that work for the certain hat people, the tunnelers. So, I mean, that's the reality. Normal people need to unite, fight the power, fight the system. But yeah, this is a boxing channel, so we talk about boxing mainly, not politicalism. And Taylor, Catterall. I mean, like I said, Taylor began to look old, and Scottish people, as I said, don't age well. It might also be because they're quite into their drink and drugs. But I think Taylor likes to have a bit of a drink. I remember he was accused of racially abusing. Abuse should be abuse. There shouldn't be special categories, but whatever. We know about the underbelly and the clergy plan. But basically, he apparently racially accusing some bouncer because he called him orange bastard. No, that could be what is it? Is he insulting him for being orange is Protestant? Is it something like that? But I think the guy ended up being Sikh. I don't know what it's about. I know the Sikhs can wear orange turbans sometimes. I don't know, but I mean, he does like to get his drink on a bit, but not too much. Taylor. I mean, I know he's not a total degenerate. I mean, Harrison used to have that problem. Scott Harrison as well, but yeah, they like their drinks, the Scots. But I don't know, man. He looked old. He's aged. I mean, his face was a bit swollen. When people drink too much, and Chubby got drunk on many times. But for too long, you get that swollen face look when especially when not so much in your 20s because you're still young, but when you start to get older, certainly your 30s and 40s. But Taylor seems to have already got that swollen alcoholic face. Yeah, and he don't look healthy. And like he faded against Lopez. As an early prediction for me, Catterall's going to win it. That's an early prediction. Yeah. Taylor is 33. But he's coming to the end of his career. Catterall is 30, but he looks young as well, Catterall, He's got a young looking face, If you said he was 22, you'd believe it. It was Taylor, if you said he was 32, you're going, no, man. I'm sure he's 40. He's 33, I think, actually, now, Taylor. But, I would like Taylor. But I think his time is over. He knows it. He's kind of looking for the pay. He basically, the rumor is, he faked the injury to get out the Catterall rematch so he could go and fight Lopez for more money, and that's fine. But then Lopez, that's fine. Make the money while he can. Make that hay where the sun shines, fam. But Catterall, but then he's come back to fight Catterall because that's the only big fight now really for him. Certainly in the UK. I mean, so the Tartan Tornado vs. Chorley's own El Gato. That means a cat, right? El Gato. Jack El Gato Catterall. He looks quite Spanish, actually, Catterall. I always wonder what his background is. Like, he's from Chorley, right? But he's quite swarthy, isn't he? And El Gato is obviously Spanish for the cat, I think. So I wonder why he chose that nickname. I don't know. Maybe he got some Spanish blood in him. Who knows? It doesn't matter, does it? Of course it matters. Everything matters, you idiots. It doesn't matter if they're Batimans or if they're whatever race or if they're from this country. Like, nothing matters. Of course it matters. Everything matters. You fool. Fools everywhere, surrounded by fools. But not me fans, obviously, because they're clued up. But yeah, so I'm looking at a Catterall win at this point. Now I would imagine on points. Because, like I said, he's quite careful, Catterall. Catterall can hit. And he obviously hurt Taylor in the first fight. He can hit, but he's not a finisher. But, if Taylor's utterly shot, then he could be stopped. But I don't think so. I see a Catterall points decision in Leeds. And, let's have a good fight. Let them beef. I want to hear some real haterism in press conference. Some real haterism. Guess what? Yeah, sorry to all the British peeps. So I just checked where Chorley is. It isn't in Manchester. Yeah, it's near-ish, but not really. It's the same distance from Liverpool just about as Manchester. It's near Bolton and Preston. It's in between Bolton and Preston. So yeah, sorry for not knowing where Chorley was. But there you go. I'd assume he was in Manchester because he got Manchester trainers and he boxed in Manchester. But assumption is the mother of all mess-ups.